Hello and welcome to another little podcast from Warric. And the Warwick Gaming podcast. I'm actually on my own tonight. I just thought I'd do a little bit of a talk about the new consoles. So I'm going to be talking about a few things tonight, and preferably the news that we're going to have two PlayStation new consoles. Hello, Stiggy, how you doing, buddy? I'm just having a bit of a chat on my own tonight, and I'm going to talk about the news that we could be getting a PlayStation 5 Pro launched at the same time as the PS5 standard, and it's got the industry up in the uproar, more than anything, say, because people want to know what these new consoles are going to cost. We know about the Xbox Series X. It's coming out to go against the PS5 and the PS5 Pro. Now, what I've been hearing is this, is that the PS5 Pro, of course, is going to be more expensive. But a lot of people are a bit about how much it's going to cost. Now, I personally think we have this same scenario all the time, don't we? Where you can go out and pay £1,000 or $1,000 on an iPhone 11, iPhone 12, and think nothing of it. But when it comes to a games console, it's always the sweet spot. $500, £500, €500. Hello, Dead Fighters. Yes, I'm not streaming, buddy, but I thought I might do a little talk for about an hour or so. If you want to join me, you're more than welcome. I'm actually streaming the podcast over DLive, Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube. So, yes, Sassy. No, like it says, I'm still I'm on call, if you get what I mean. You know, in and out of the room, but I won't be doing the live stream until later in the week. But like it says, I also will be covering tonight. Okay, Defa. Also tonight, I'll be talking about the new Last of Us TV series from HBO, which is going to be launched next year. Now, it's going to actually be the actual producer from the games is going to be part of the development crew for HBO. But no, let's go back to where I was thinking that. Now, the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, right, I've heard lots of rumors talking. People saying, oh, yes, but the PS5 Pro is going to cost $600, $700, $800. No, it's not. I would say the PS5 standard, you're talking about $400, $399, or just over. And the PS5 Pro, you will probably be $499. It won't go. It might. Well, if it goes over the $500 mark, they're in trouble. That's what I say. So they've got to get the PS5 Pro, which is the one I probably will be using. I mean, the thing is, if you're going to get a PS5, if it's a question of $50 to $100 in it, you might as well buy the best one, mightn't you? But that's the one I'll be looking into, and sooner or later, Sony has got to unveil it. I mean, there's lots of different mock-ups of how the console looks. You know, different pictures of the standard. Yes, but the thing is, Assassin, this is what the thing is. The PS3 was the most expensive console I ever bought. Remember when the 60 gigabyte came out? It cost me £425. Then I bought the Xbox One X, and that. Hello, Matt. How you doing, buddy? I bought the Xbox One X, and that cost me at the same £425. Now, Microsoft is also bringing out two consoles, remember. They're not just bringing out the Xbox Series X. They're bringing out a lesser version of the Xbox Series X. So they're both bringing out two machines. The Xbox Series X standard, as you want to call it. And then you've got the Xbox Series X, which is up there with the PS5 Pro. But the PS5 standard and the PS5 Pro, that's where the market's going to be. But like I said, I will be getting a PS5 Pro. But like I said, we all want to know how much it's going to cost, and they should very soon be unveiling it. I mean, they're not going to be at E3. Sony said they will not be at E3, so that is why they're going to have one of these little shows they have. It'd be very like low key, and then they'll invite someone like one of the top executives to walk on stage and just show you what it looks like. So that's what it's going to happen. That's what happened last time when they brought out the PS4. Remember, it wasn't a very big show. It wasn't E3. It was just a man walked out on the stage with it in his hands and says, "There's your PS4." And this is what it's going to be like on the PS5. But because, like he says, they're not going to have a presence at E3, as far as we know. And Microsoft is really gonna chuck everything at E3 because they'll be there, but Sony won't be. But the thing is, they've got everything they need anyway. All they've got to do is show the games like The Last of Us Part 2, stuff like that, and of course the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, and they know they've already got it in the bag. I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of people been talking about it, like Digital Foundry have been talking about. Yes, there will be PS5s in the shops, but how many? How many consoles are going to be there? I mean, it's definitely a pre-order thing. It's got to be, again, because of this coronavirus. It's going to slow down production somewhere. It might not slow down production with the parts, but it will slow down production of shipping the consoles to actual different countries. So there will be a shortage. And the thing is, this is what I don't like, because is there a release date for the PS5? It's in October, Matt. I think it may be something like October 20th. But like I says, the problem is when we always have a new console. I thought it was earlier than that, Stiggy. I thought it was about October, but anyway. But the scalpers, this is the problem. People go and buy, say, 3 or 4 PlayStations, and then they sell them on eBay for $2,000-3,000 each or more. And this is what the problem is. Real people who want the console just get price the market. This is what the problem is. So they've got to watch out for scalpers when there's very low demand for the console. But I mean, I can see the PS5 being very good, especially the Pro. I mean, they're talking it's 120 frames per second. I mean, to PC people, that's nothing. But for console boys, we'll finally be up there with console players, especially with PC players, especially with cross-game games like Fortnite and stuff like that. PC is always going to own the console boys on 30 frames per second when they're coming in at 120, 200 frames per second. Ants, how you doing? Antus, how you doing? But finally, with the Xbox Series X and the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, we may be able to hold our own. Hello, the Warrior. How you doing over on Mixer, buddy? How you doing? Just doing a bit of my podcasting like I do on a regular basis, talking about the gaming industry. But yes, finally, in terms of frame rate of console gaming, the consoles will be up there with the PC. Well, they'll be able to hold their own, especially with 120 frames per second on the consoles. So people say, oh, yeah, but is it going to be expensive? But the thing is, what you've got to understand is, if you buy a PS5, PS5 Pro, Xbox Series X, etc., these consoles, this generation alone, Sony has already said, and Microsoft, that these consoles are going to last a minimum of 7 years. Now, how many cell phones, how many mobile phones will you get through in 7 years? And people are willing to spend $1,000 on an iPhone 12, 13, or whatever every 2 years, and they always seem to argue if a console is more than $500. I mean, it's stupid. Giants were going to release files tonight. Fair enough, Matt. Yes, like it says, I'm on DLive, Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube tonight, talking a little chat about what I feel is important in the gaming industry. And the thing is, now there's also been another speculation especially with the PlayStation 5 Pro, that Sony's on about bringing out a separate. I don't mean PlayStation Plus. They're on about bringing out a separate subscription model for it. Now, nothing's been confirmed about this, but it may go along the lines of like what Microsoft is trying to do, or doing, with where you like when you buy a cell phone, you go on a contract, and you pay so much a month, and you have to pay over 2 years or 3 years, and then after that, the mobile phone or the cell phone is yours. In effect, you're buying it on a loan. And this is what Sony's probably going to try and do, especially with the PS5 Pro, because that's going to be more expensive. They're on about doing this on like a contract like you do with a cell phone or a mobile phone, where you pay so much a month, but you get a console and a subscription all in, like PlayStation Plus, all bundled in the same console, but you only pay so much a month. And after 2 years, the game is yours. Yeah, like PlayStation Plus Ultimate, just like this. You've already pre-ordered it, Antus. Where'd you pre-order that from? I bet they give you a stupid price, didn't they, for your PS5? He says already ordered. Now, remember now, Antus, there's probably going to be 2 different models for the PS5 now. There were actually, Digital Foundry have said that the PS5 Pro is actually going to be the one that actually goes against the Xbox Series X. And the PS5 standard is going to be a lesser machine. Don't get me wrong, though. It's going to be a very powerful console, but it's not going to be as powerful as what the Xbox Series X. I mean, that's a fact. But I won't give it to Xbox all the time, because the simple reason, I've got an Xbox One X, these Scorpio editions, Now, I've got no intention of buying an Xbox Series X, but for the simple reason, and I've had this argument on the podcast before, when I buy a new console, I want games that I can play on that console and you can't play on the previous generation, like Godfall. Now, that's going to be a PS5 exclusive. Probably not forever, but it will be. But you can only play it on a PS5. You cannot play it on a PS4 or even a PS4 Pro. And that's what gets me. Whenever I've always bought consoles that way. Why should I pay top dollar, top money for a new piece of hardware that you can only play? It's got games that will be available on that and the lesser machines below it. This is what happens with Microsoft. They've got the Xbox Series X, right? They've got the Xbox One X, they've got the Xbox S, and so on down. And all the games are going to be listed, are going to be playable on all them platforms, even though, of course, they won't look so good on the previous generations. But what does that tell you? Now, that tells that to me that if I buy a new Xbox Series X, anybody that's got an Xbox One X or an S can still play the same game I've got on my Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Granted, it will look the best on the Series X, but they still be able to play it. Now, a lot of people think that's good, but I don't, because simple reason, if I buy a brand new spanking piece of hardware, I want a game I can play on there, but unless you've got a PS5 Pro or whatever, or you can't play it. That's the way I am. Otherwise, why buy it? Am I streaming on PS5 right now? No, I'm not, mate. I'm on StreamYard. I'm using StreamYard to broadcast to Twitch, and then I'm using a system called Aircast, which grabs the stream from Twitch and drops it on YouTube, Mixer, and DLive, or any other platform I want. It's like a service you pay for. But Moist Monkey's coming in. Thank you, buddy, for them ice creams. Thank you for coming in, buddy. And like I said, this has been my argument. Did Xbox say that if you buy a game on Xbox One, you get it free? Probably yes. Xeno Killer, probably yes. But my whole problem with Xbox, don't get me wrong about Xbox. Game Pass was the best thing Xbox ever did. You play, you're getting day one games, first party brand new games, day one in the shops for free on your Game Pass subscription. I wish Sony would do something like that. I have saved a lot of money. I have saved a lot of money through Xbox, having the Xbox Game Pass. Hey up, Moist Monkey, how you doing? But the thing is this, Xbox, if I'm going to buy the new Series X, which I won't be straight away, because what I just said before, if there's going to be no proper full exclusive games for the new console, there is no point in buying a new console straight away, because I can still play it on my Xbox One X or the Xbox S, whatever. Yeah, that's right, Stiggy. The thing is, if you're in the market for an Xbox, granted, buy the new Xbox Series X. But the thing is, it's not, people who pay that kind of money are not really getting any extra. All right, fair enough. The games will look better. It will have a better frame rate. It will make old games on, say, the Xbox One S run better, with better frame rate, higher resolution, etc., etc. You'll be able to have 8K Netflix and stuff like that. But it does not justify. It does not justify the money, because it's got no exclusive games. Now, if they said to me, right, we're going to bring out Fable 4, full exclusive on the Xbox Series X, you can only play it on the Series X, that's it, I'm sold. I will buy it. But they're not. It's all, every game is playable on all the family of Xboxes. And of course, now they're going to do it on the streaming service, so you can play it on your tablet, your cell phone, your PC, etc. Will the PS5 be better than PS5? Are you talking about the Pro, or are you talking about the PS5 Pro and the PS5 Standard, or the PS4 and PS5? You'd have to say that again, mate. But the thing is, I must admit, I've always been a Sony boy. I must that, but I'm what you call a gamer. If something's good on the Xbox, I will play it. If I can't play it, if it's something I want to play on the Xbox, I will buy an Xbox to play it. It's the same when Nintendo brought out the Resident Evil remakes on the Nintendo GameCube. I didn't buy it for Nintendo. I bought it to play Res Evil. That's why I bought a GameCube. Well, yes. Ants. Now, the PS5, regardless of which one you get, the standard PS5 or the PS5 Pro, will be better than the PS4, because they're saying that they should be able to render most PS4 games, right, in 4K upscale them into 4K, and they should be able to upscale the frame rate from 30 to a minimum of a 60. Yeah, the minimum of 60 frames on most games once they get a bit a patch or something added to them. But majority of the games, Sony said, if they're brand new PS5 games, they're looking to try and get 120 frames per second on all games and in 4K native. Now they're talking about 8K. Now 8K people, I don't want to rain on anybody's parade here, but you are not going to get God of War, the new God of War when it comes out in 8K, the new Last of Us 2 in 8K. It's not happening. The only thing you're going to get is something like Netflix in films in 8K, Amazon Prime films in 8K. You know, that's what you're going to be looking for, because the power to get that kind of resolution in a top end game like Grand Theft Auto 6 or something like that, you're going to need near triple what the PS5, triple what the frigging Xbox Series X can do. In fact, to get that kind of fidelity, I can't see even a new top of the range PC today can't do it. Not to get that kind of resolution. My grandfather has a PS1. Oh well, I've had a PS1, mate. I remember buying my first PlayStation 1, mate. That's how old I am. So, but I remember what you got to understand is, he brought up the PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1 was a very big change in the industry, because remember, before PlayStation come along, every console, like the Sega Mega Drive or the Sega Genesis in America, the Super Nintendo, the SNES and stuff like that, they always was cartridge-based systems. And when Sony brought out the PS1, right, it was the first ever CD-based console. It used CD-ROM technology. Am I kidding you? Well, you remember, because I said I remember the PlayStation 1. Yes, I do, because I bought one. How old do you think I am, and I'm actually 51 years old. So the PS6, yeah, well, Stiggy, yeah. Now, what you got to understand, people, is if you want things, who wants 8K resolution? The problem is, one, you've got no Blu-ray films in 8K. They haven't been made yet. You might get Netflix and stuff like that eventually. So 8K resolution isn't really going to help anyone at this time, because there's no media to go on it. Yeah. So, but it would be nice if you can buy 8K televisions. And what you got to understand is, whatever technology you buy today, if it's a cell phone, if it's a game console, etc., right, you go to Japan, and they are always 5 or 6 years in front of any technology in the world. So if you go to Japan today, or you sound 40, well, I'm 51, mate, but you go to Japan today. So if you got on a plane and you went to Japan tomorrow and flew over there, and you went into a cell phone shop or a mobile phone shop and you bought a phone, that phone you buy then, right, then bring it back to where you live, America, England, whatever. All right, that phone won't be out in America or England for at least 5 years, because that phone they're always 5 or 6 years in front with technology in Japan. They always have been. I gave my PS1 to my son. Oh, there I go, Stiggy. The thing is, what you got to understand is the PlayStation 1 was the first ever console to have full 3D graphics. Until that time on the cartridge-based systems like the Sega Mega Drive or Sega Genesis, as they call it in America, everything was like a 2D backdrop with like a wraparound 3D effect. But anyway, let's go back to what we're talking about today. You know, the dem gens are gone. Now, the PS5, right, Pro, and the PS5 Standard. Now, they will be based on SSD technology. That's solid state drives, just like you have in your mobile phones or your cell phones. Like no moving parts, so it's a lot more reliable hard drive system. Okay, now the problem is with solid state drives is at the moment they're very expensive, and the thing is, Sony have said that the PS5 will have some kind of cartridge based system just for the hard drives. So you'll be able to push in like a 1 terabyte SSD or a 2 terabyte SSD. But remember, these are going to be Sony's SSDs. These ain't going to be SSDs you can just go and buy them any SSD and slop it in. No, you have to buy theirs. So they're going to manufacture their own SSDs. Now, they have said that the PS5 will come with a bare minimum 2 terabyte hard drive as standard. That might sound a lot. That might sound a big hard drive, but in this day and age, when you've got games of 100 to 150 gigabytes in size, that still ain't going to be big enough, especially for me. I mean, at the moment, I've got my PlayStation 4 Pro. I've put in a 2 terabyte hard drive in it. It's also got a 3 terabyte external drive, and I'm struggling for space. Same with my Xbox One X. I've got I think a terabyte inside it and about 5 terabyte external on my Xbox One X. The thing is, it's storage. These games might look good, they're very big and spectacular, but they all take space. But there is a silver lining in them, because now we're getting into the cloud technology scene. So where, and of course, the faster the internet speeds up every year, the internet's getting faster and faster and faster. There's going to come a time where, as you know, with Microsoft doing their cloud-based system, where you can actually, in effect, what they want Netflix for games. Same with Sony. They don't want you to walk in a shop and buy a game. They want you to do it all digitally. I just now got enough about the coronavirus. The thing is, Antus, the coronavirus. Now, listen to this, people. This is the hard truth about the coronavirus, right? You will see the coronavirus. You may, I hope you don't, but you may even get it. But what you're going to understand is, there's a saying that somebody said, and it actually is true about any kind of virus out there. Right, the weak will die, the strong will survive. I mean, I'm afraid that's the fact of life. If you're a weak person, you've got a weak immune system. 9 times out of 10, I'm afraid to say it, but you're going to die. That's just it. Some people say it's Mother Nature's way of keeping the population down, and that's probably what it is. But remember this: more people die from the common flu, the flu virus, than they do for anything else. That's killed more people than anything. So I wouldn't read too much into the coronavirus at the moment, because the media haven't got any news to talk about. So they have to talk about something. So they're going to hype up the coronavirus. You're going to hear every bit of information about it. They're going to scaremonger you. They're going to get you out and panic buy in the shops, people buying food and toilet rolls. It's, if you're actually well in yourself, right, or only thing you can do is wash your hands and keep clean. It's like anything. This virus, they say it'll do with hand contact, but it's airborne. It's airborne. Doesn't matter where you are, you will encounter it one day. And the thing is, most people might even already have it, and they don't even know they've got it, and they may get over it, and that's it. Some people, it just be like a normal cold. It was the same with SARS virus and all that. They made such a fuss about it, and that's it. I mean, there's going to be a few unlucky people in the in the 60s or 70s who have got lung problems, who may actually die. But sorry, but that's life, But anyway, let's bring the tone down a bit. But all I've got to say is this: if you one thing about one more thing about the coronavirus. Yes, it's see. The thing is, Ant, the coronavirus will be airborne because it's like a cold, something like that. So, if you can catch it through if you can catch it through air particles in the air, it's airborne, right? You only need somebody to go and cough on you. That's it. The germs are flying towards you. It's through the air into you. So there you go. But don't worry about it. It's like they always say, if your time is up, it doesn't matter if you get the coronavirus or walking across the street. If your time is up to die, you will die. Sorry. Doesn't matter what it is. Anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. Now, I'm not here to upset anybody, but I'm just saying is, come on, people. The media thrive on stuff like this. Go out, enjoy your life, forget about the coronavirus. Keep washing your hands, yes, and keep trying to be clean, but that's all you can do. So, it's nothing else you can do. I mean, there isn't no drugs for it. I mean, I always say this to people: if you can get hold of the flu jab, like you have it every year, have it, because that's going to give you that's going to give you extra antibodies to help you with any kind of viral condition, i.e. coronavirus. It's not actually designed to treat the coronavirus, but if you've got extra antibodies in your system, you're going to have a bit more protection against any kind of viral virus out there. So let's get back to my trailer thought now. Right, now the PlayStation 5. Right now, this to me will probably be my last console I ever buy, because I'm getting quite old now. Will Dead by Daylight come to PS5? More than likely, Ants, because it will be backward compatible. Sony have said that a majority of their games over time will be backward compatible. So all they will need will be a patch, and then you just have a patch for your PS5. It may improve the frame rate of Dead by Daylight, make it run better. They may even do a super update for the game, so you can actually have it in full 4K with 120 frames per second, and that would be good. But the best thing at Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th can be done is to make them cross-platform, so you can play with PC, Xbox, and PlayStation people. Don't just segregate them to one console. That's the death of any game, especially Friday the 13th, which I love. I love playing Friday the 13th. If they actually brought that to cross-game platforms, so I could play with PC and Xbox boys and Nintendo Switch, by that way, that game would live on for years. But I'm afraid it might not ever. Your whole family is sick, and I think we have it, and I think I am in me. The thing is, Ants, right? What you've got to understand is, mate, just because your family is sick doesn't necessarily mean they got the coronavirus, mate. They just probably got colds or a normal flu, right? So don't think you got the coronavirus just because you're sick. All right. I'm enjoying Dead by Daylight. They need to add. They will do. The thing is, there's nothing reason why they can't do cross-platform for Dead by Daylight, because they are still supporting the game. They're still adding new content to it. So there's no reason why they can't have a cross-platform patch for it, right? Fair enough. People on PC probably would own people on consoles because of the frame rate issues and stuff like that. But if they move over to the PS5 and Series X, it will even out a bit more. Oh yes, and I mean, what are you on, Ant? Are you on PlayStation? Are you on Xbox? Are you on PC or what? But Now I'm going to move on. Now I think I've talked more about the PS4. I will be doing a special Gamecast talk about, well, when E3 is here. We will be talking with Dead Fighters. I'll have on the stream with me. We will be talking about, you know, what we actually, when we actually get the PS5 unveiled, and Series X, of course, and stuff like that. We will be talking a lot more in-depth details on the specifications and what they can actually do, these machines, these consoles. But I say this every time a console gets released. Don't ever think your new console, PS5, PS5 Pro, Series X, will ever beat a top-of-the-range gaming PC. Never on your life. Never. A top-end gaming PC will be more powerful than your PS5 and your Series X combined. So never ever say your console can beat a top-end gaming rig. It can't. That's just fact. So, but they will be good games. There will be good games for the consoles, and they will be good platforms. But the thing is, PC will always be in front of any console technology, because what you got to understand is when you buy your PS5, when you buy your Series X, that's it for 7 years. That's it. With a PC, you can go the next day and change your graphics card, change your RAM, change your motherboard for more powerful every day. That you could change your hardware in a PC every day of the week. So the PC will always be God in the gaming industry. The only thing the consoles come out with is when they get their exclusive games like Halo on the Xbox, Last of Us, Uncharted and stuff like that on the Sony PlayStation. Stuff you can't play on the PC. But like it says, the PC for power-wise, the PC will always be king. But, right, I think I shall move on to the newly announced TV series of The Last of Us. All right. Now, Druckmann, the one who's made the game The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2, is actually going to have a hand in producing and helping out with the production of the new Last of Us TV series. Now, what I've been hearing is it's going to be, the first season is going to be based on the original Last of Us game, which, well, so I'm glad it is, because you want to start at the beginning, don't you? And all the actual all the actual characters in the game are going to be represented in the TV series. Yeah, the new DLC for the Dead by Daylight is out now. I think the new killer's out, the one with the old gun that shoots a chain out, and that's all out now. Remember, it'll always be out on the PC first. Yeah, you got to switch, ain't you? But here's another thing, Ants. Now, did you say you're going to get a PS5? Well, that's the case. If you get a PS5, you can always add me to your friends list when you get your PS5, because I shall probably have a PS5 day one, well, hopefully. And see what is at the moment. I've got a PS4 Pro and a PS4 Standard. When the PS5 comes, the PS4 Pro will be moved into the living room to be like a Netflix player. The PS5 will be my main streaming machine, and the standard PS4 will be giveaway. Right, so yeah, they said they're actually going to represent all the characters in the Last of Us franchise, and if they do this well, and I mean do it well, The Last of Us could be the next contender for the Walking Dead crown. Because you think about it, how Walking Dead used to be, but The Last of Us, they could actually span it over several seasons, and they could actually take the crown off Walking Dead if they do it right, with zombies and stuff like that. Stiggy says, will they be using the same people from the game in the TV show? Well, the thing is, Stiggy, there's not been really any casting yet, but there are talks. Do you remember the girl? Do you remember the girl that played in Beyond Two Souls. Oh, what's her name? She's an actress, isn't she? They always said she looked a lot like Ellie in The Last of Us. I forgot what her name is now, but the one about she actually might be in the series. But there is talk that it's all talk at the moment. It's all talk because nothing's been confirmed. But all the characters, Joel, Ellie, you know, and all that, they're all going to be represented in the game, and all the people he meets, like, you know, his mate in the junkyard, they're all going to be in it. But the thing is, they could make this series, you know, quite a long thing, like quite a long if they go on. And with HBO, they've took it over. The only thing that worries me about the Last of Us series is the censorship, because we know how much the games are the games are very violent. I mean, you look at some of the CGI in Last of Us Part 2, for starters, right? You've seen some of the gameplay on that. It's sick. Some of it is really sick, you know, in violence, you know, chopping people's heads off. Now, that's all well and good. I mean, but if they start doing, I mean, Druckmann, he's on about saying this is going to bring the whole game to the TV series, but will it get hit by the censorship? You know, the MPA and all that, you know, the Movie Picture Association and all that. Oh, it's not out on a Nintendo. Well, then again, you got to think, Ants, when the Dead by Daylight came out, it was first released on the PC. Then it was released on the PS4 and the Xbox, and then it was released on the Nintendo Switch. So the Nintendo Switch, my friend, is probably going to get the DLC last out of all the platforms, because they will prioritize the DLC for the PC, because then they can bulk fix it. Then they'll go for the Xbox and the PS4. Then once they fix that, then they'll drop it on the Switch. So the Switch is always probably going to get to be last on that kind of stuff, mate. But like I said, the series could actually be very good. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm a bit disappointed it's not coming out till 2021. But I suppose we've got, when Last of Us Part 2 comes out, we're going to have enough to play when that comes out. But also, remember, people, the end of this month, there's another game coming out on the Xbox and the PS4. And that is the remake of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I don't know if any of you have seen some of the gameplay for that. It looks amazing. I mean, so did the Res Evil 2 when they remade that game. But it's not just that I'm looking forward to. It's the multiplayer for Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Resistance, I think it's called. That's a bit where it's a bit like there's about 4 or 5 of you, players like the survivors, and one of you plays like the monster, like the Nemesis, and of course you have to escape and take him out, just like you do on the old Dead by Daylight, just like you do on Friday 13th. But I'm more interested at the moment in the multiplayer on the Res Evil than I am on the actual game. Granted, I will play it. I will play the Res Evil Nemesis remake, but the actual multiplayer is where I'm interested. Now, like it says, people, I will be doing a more advanced Gamecast later in the next week or two, when we get a bit more news regarding the new consoles and stuff like that. If you have any ideas or anything like that, so we, I mean, you could, if any of you want to join me on the Gamecast, we're always willing to let people onto the podcast. And like I said, I'm on my own tonight, but I will be joined by Dead Fighters, and I may be joined by Stubbs Gaming back as well soon. And but like it says, we will be coming back for a big special, probably just before E3, and then we'll have our speculations of what we think's going to happen, and then after E3 is over and there's all the announcements have been made, you can see the PS5, what it looks like, you can see the Series X. We will say, well, that looks a load of shit, or that looks good. Anyway, but we will have some predictions as well. I'm going to predict something. So is Dead Fighters. We're going to predict what's going to happen, and we'll see if them predictions come true. But I think that's where I'm going to leave this little talk. It was only going to be a little talk about the next gen consoles, or what I think's going to happen. But like I said, I still think that the PS5. This is good. Now, here, people, you can remember this. What I'm going to say now. This is what I think the PS5 and the PS5 Pro is going to be. I think the PS5 standard or vanilla console is what they call it. The PS5 standard will be no more than $400 or £400 or euros. The PS5 will not break £500. I'd say it'd be a max, or being the Pro. The PS5 Pro will be $499, £499 or €499. If it's any more than that, it's going to hurt. Sony's going to have to take a hit on it, but they will not break that $500 barrier. We'll see. But and of course, if the cheaper it is, the better it is for everybody, isn't it? So, but like it says, until the next Gamecast, which will be a lot bigger Gamecast, I hope you've enjoyed this little talk about the new consoles, and I will be back soon on the Gamecast with a lot more people. And I'm actually going to be hopefully introducing a new co-host as well. I used to work with this man years ago when we used to do a website, and we used to do a lot of conventions, because I used to go down to London and stuff like that, and be in the old press parlour, the press passes and all that. And we used to go in there playing all the games like God of War and stuff, behind closed doors. But I'm hoping he will join me on the podcasts in the future. His name is Psych360, and we used to do a lot of podcasting today. Hoping to get him on the podcast sometime. I'm going to have a good little talk to him, and he's very knowledgeable at what he knows, and he's very good at doing voiceovers, stuff like that. If you ever want any voiceovers doing, he's your man. But yeah, I will probably do the new Gamecast in a few weeks, but we will do it before E3, and we will have a real good big show, probably 3 or 4 hours long. But until then, if you want to catch me, I'm always streaming on DLive. I'm always streaming on Mixer and Twitch and YouTube. And remember to add me on Twitter at Warric. And remember to join my Discord, and you'll know exactly where I am at all times. I've also got a Facebook channel, Warwick Gaming channel. If you want to go over Facebook and check me out, I'm over there as well. So until then, I will see you all. Thank you for all coming in. Thanks, Stiggy. Thanks for everybody else for coming into the stream. And I will see you soon. And I hope you enjoy this little Gamecast talk with Warwick. So until then, it's bye-bye.